Catherine Adelaide, an expert in work environment of big corporations, wrote an article entitled 12 Reasons Employees Resist Change in the Workplace. Some of these are fairly predictable. Most people resist change in general. But the one reason she cites that might strike us as odd is the loss of support system. Adelaide points out that workers like their predictable routines and want to feel their familiar network of colleagues will bring them up in tough times, even if they know that the change will be a beneficial change. Before today's gospel, John told us that some of the Jewish authorities believed secretly, but their mouths shut to avoid the expel of their comfortable positions in the synagogue. They were apparently extremely risk adverse, as they could not follow where their hearts and minds were leading them. Today we hear Jesus providing a summation of his self-revelation. He affirms his intimate relationship with God that he spoke in John 1:1, and the Word was God. He describes himself as the light of the world from John 1:9. He is the true light. He insists that he came not to condemn, but to save. And this is from John 3:17. God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world. He warns that anyone who rejects his word will be condemned by that word. From John 3:18. Whoever does not believe has already been condemned. And he explains that his word is the word of God. From John 1:14. The Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. The message of Jesus, then and now, challenges by the demand of change. Whether internal, where we have to have a change of heart, or external, a change in behavior, the world is really in the midst of change. Obvious change due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we move cautiously forward to reopen businesses, community events, and even the churches, our familiar ways of doing things have to change. We simply cannot do the same things the same ways that we have become accustomed. Social distancing will become the new norm for some time into the future, which means a great reduction in the capacity of our local churches, significant in some of our large churches. The way we've become accustomed to receiving the Eucharist, only under one species now, only in the hand. For some, this will be considered just unacceptable. Holy water fonts will be dry. There will be no touching, hugging, or handshaking in the church, especially at the sign of peace. These are going to be like little mini deaths that we're being asked to experience. And as strange as they might be and we feel, within the bounds of obedience, these changes are for the good of the entire worshiping community. How we embrace these changes will be a visible simulation of our own self-revelation, of who we are, who we believe in, trust, and follow. This morning in Pope Francis's morning tweet, he says, "It is not easy to live in the light. The light makes us see many ugly things within us. Vices, pride, the worldly spirit." Jesus' message is challenging because change is difficult and uncomfortable. But Jesus tells us, take courage. Let yourself be enlightened. because I have come not to condemn, but to save.